Yo everyone, Mango here, and welcome back to another video in our hero profiles for the online trading card game Shadow Era. So let's go ahead and, like usual, jump right into a multiplayer battle and see who we come out against. And looks like we have a priest versus priest matchup. I'm not really sure that's what I wanted, but well, anyway, we're going to be playing with is the Arcane God. Let's give him a yo-yo. Good luck, have fun, my friend. Ferned friend. And so what we're playing at the moment is a deck that became really popular with the release of new cards earlier this month. And to be honest, it's kind of faded away a little bit. People were having fun with it. They were playing it left and right. You couldn't look anywhere. Every 2 games, 3 games, you saw this Jericho deck, and so now it's kind of tailed off. So it seems like the perfect time to go ahead and try to play it, right? Okay, so let's see what we're gonna do here. So this deck is just fully aggro style, and its focus is mainly on. I don't know if I want to get. I don't want to get rid of that, do I? I guess I'll get rid of this again and play this guy. So this deck is doesn't utilize any of the control tools that Priest usually has. Priest is one of the best, if not the best, class in regards to controlling opposing allies. And since you don't, this deck though says screw all that. We're gonna go right for our opponent. We're gonna try to beat him down. And so let's see. All right, cool. So I got one of these. I'll go ahead and get rid of one of those for now. I'm going to go ahead and play this. So this card is Priest's new main draw engine for the most part. So for 2 Shadow Energy, you pull 3 cards from the bottom of your deck, and then you shuffle 2 of them back into your deck. So this card is a key card in my strategy here. So see, I'm going to place this attachment onto this guy, and then I'm going to come in and attack. So in this deck, this guy right here, when you end your turn, when Zaylan Scholar has an attachment on him, when you end your turn, you get to draw a card. So you see right now, I'll actually draw a card. Okay, and so the deck really focuses around having this guy in play and having this attachment in play. So when you attach this to your hero, any attachments on your allies, when that ally is killed, they'll go right back to your deck. So you're just constantly recycling those attachments. And by the way, this deck I believe is a copy of ROK Nadoa. I think it was Nadoa that put this up on the forums. And it's just like I said before, it's just a super aggressive deck. And so let's see. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to risk it. I'm going to get rid of one of these. And and also every time you target this ally with an ability, you gain 1 resource. So let me see. First, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this. I mean, I'm going to summon this to my hero. This way, if this guy dies, that attachment goes back to my hand. And then I'm going to go ahead and, yeah, let's activate this. Let's see if I can get a 1 cost attachment out to show you something. Oh, cool. I got one. Okay. So I'm going to get rid of this. And I'm going to get rid of this. It goes back into my deck. And oh, I forgot he already has this on him. My bad. Okay, well, you'll see me, I'm gonna cast this onto this ally. Watch my resources here. They'll go from 2 to 1 and then back up to 2 because this card here that I placed onto my hero, all of my attachments actually cost 1 less. Let me see. And then every time I target this guy with an ability, I gain 1 resource. So that attachment cost me 1 to summon, but then when I targeted that ally with it, it effectively cost me 0. So let's see what he has for me here. Okay, so he draws a card. Oh, he's got Zale's Hymn. So Zale's Hymn actually shuts down this ally from being able to attack. It doesn't kill it, doesn't deal any damage to it. It just makes it so that I can no longer attack with it unless I remove that attachment. See, all right, so his turn's over, and I know yeah, okay, cool. I'll go ahead. Let's show you something a little tricky here. So I'm gonna skip my turn. And this guy, when you summon him, you get to take an attachment on another one of your allies and place it on him. So what I'm going to do is, I could take this off, but it's just going to send him back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, place it on him. You see now he comes in and he's hasted. So when he has an attachment, he has haste, and now I get to come in and deal 3 damage right away. But maybe I will not. Maybe I'll go ahead and play this on him first to give him 5, and then we'll come in and hit. So the Arata Jewels, the a second attachment I placed on this ally, it actually makes it so that your ally has plus one for every attachment. Okay, so you count the attachment itself, and then you count the. So right now he has plus two because of the 2 attachments that he has on him, and then he has an additional plus 2 attack because of the other attachment. And there's a tidal wave, so those guys will go to the graveyard. But you saw the attachments went back into my deck so that I could constantly reuse them. So in this deck, you only have 12 allies. So you really do not want to sacrifice any allies. So I'm going to skip that. I'll play this guy, and I'm going to cast this onto him just to get an attachment on him. And then I will play, will he have another tidal wave? I'm going to hold off. I'm going to play this card. So this card attaches to your hero. And every time you summon an attachment, you get to draw a card at the end of your turn up to a maximum of 2. So I should draw 3 cards this turn. Yep. So you see, I drew 1 card because this guy has an attachment on him at the end of my turn, and then I drew 2 cards because of Confluence of Fate because I summoned 2 attachments. So, but just remember, you can summon 10,000 attachments. Okay, it wouldn't matter. You can only draw up to a maximum of 2 cards with that ability. So this deck has a lot of moving parts, a lot of interaction. So it can be kind of hard for a new player. So maybe not the greatest deck to show, but you know what? It's a fun deck, and people have been having a lot of fun playing with it. All right, so I'm gonna get rid of that guy. I'm gonna play Arata Jewels. So this guy's 3/4 right now, and by summoning this on him, he should get plus two because he has 2 attachments on him now. You see, now it goes up to 5. And then I'm going to use this to draw some cards. Okay, I don't need that. I was hoping to get another attachment. So I don't need that. I don't need that. I will go ahead and play this guy. And then I will, oops, sorry about that. I will go ahead and attack the hero. 5 damage, 0 damage. Oh, that's right. I'm taking 0 damage because of this card. When a friendly ally has an attachment, all damage to that ally is reduced by 2. So he would have to do 3 damage to me in order to even do 1. But Tidal Wave, as you saw, it kills all allies. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what your ally is that it has in play. It doesn't matter how strong it is. It doesn't matter if it has 10 health. It just doesn't matter. It's dead. The only thing there are very few specific cards that would stop it from dying to Tidal Wave. And one of those cards is Holy Shield. It's a priest ability. It actually makes the target unkillable for 1 turn. And the other card is Decoy Trap. A Decoy Trap reduces all damage to an ally down to 0. And you think tidal wave doesn't cause damage; it just kills all allies. Well, almost. In this game, in order for an ally to die, it has to take lethal damage. So effectively, what tidal wave does every time you play it is it actually deals the maximum amount of or the amount of damage needed to kill that ally. So it does deal damage. So let's see. Let's go ahead and let's play this guy out to pull this card again. This card gives plus 2 attack. So we're going to pull that off of him so we can come in and hit the hero. Do 3 damage there. Let's play another one of these guys because I need to have space for 3 cards so I can activate this ability here. So I can get an attachment. Not really ones I wanted, but that's okay. Get rid of that card. Get rid of that card. And let's play this one here. And so this actually whenever this guy has an attachment on him, he gets plus one. That's it. Just plus one bonus. But he also got a bonus from the card itself. So basically, he went up by plus two, or plus one. Yeah. So now you'll see my hero, my opponent take 1 damage, and that's because whenever you target Adventist with an ability, at the end of your turn, the opponent actually takes 1 damage for that. Let me see. So he's going to come in, attack my face. I'm guessing he has a tidal wave at this point. So he's going to hit me in the face for a couple damage, and then he's going to use tidal wave to kill everything on the board. And everything dies. My attachments go back to my hand. And now I get to play one of these guys out. And oh, look at that. He has a healing touch. So he'll go up to 5 health. So I thought I had him, but I do not. Okay, so let's go ahead and get rid of this for now. And I'm going to play, I'll play this guy, and I'll play this guy, and then I will play an attachment onto both of them. So I'll draw 2 cards for summoning 2 attachments, and I'll draw a card from this guy being in play again, and my opponent will take 1 damage. So he'll be down to 4. So I draw 3 cards. All right. And I have this guy again to kind of be a little finisher. So for 2 costs, you can, finish your opponent off by stealing an attachment from one of your allies that you already attacked with. So let's see. So turn 10. I wonder if he has another tidal wave to clear my board. This just tends. I think this just really this seems like it was just a bad matchup for him. He has more of a mid-range deck. Oh, he does have another tidal wave though, and so I'm running out of allies here. Okay, so he plays that guy. So whenever he summons that card, he's able to actually seek an attachment from his deck. The attachment that he keeps seeking is one that remember that when he plays it on one of my allies, they cannot attack. So I'm going to play this guy out. I'm going to activate my draw item here to pull 3 cards. Ooh, okay, I have this. I'm going to save this for my finisher. And I will send this back to my deck. Send this back. Play a Rod of Jewels on this guy. Deal 1 damage to him. And then I'll go ahead and end my turn. Yep, because remember, every time you target this guy with an ability, your opponent will take 1 damage at the start of his next turn. And so he's going to have that ability. So he'll play that ability onto this guy. And he's going to think that that'll save him. But I have this card, which is going to be able to make him ignore that attachment. And I should be able to deal exactly the right amount of damage. So I gave him a good game. Skip my turn. Legend rises. And then come in and attack. All right. So you got to see the way that deck works when things go decently for it. My opponent also was playing a mid-range deck and was maybe a little too slow for that. Oh, excuse me. Ugh. But that's just the way things go in this game. You play rush decks and you can play mid-range decks. You can play control decks. Aggressive decks right now are still pretty good, and this deck though can fall apart real easily if you don't have this one card. This one card here, Divine Connection for 2 cost, it's really the key card in the deck. You need this because you need to be able to keep recycling your attachments back into your deck to utilize on your allies, because you only have 12 allies in this deck, okay? And so you really need to make use of the attachments that you have in here. I think I mentioned it. I'm pretty sure this deck is from the forums from ROK Hello or Nadal, and it's really fun to play. And it can be a little complicated, but not so much if you just really slow down and pay attention. But just remember, this is the key card. If you have this in your hand on turn 2, you play this card. Period. You don't do anything else. You have to play this card. Okay. And so when you attach it to your hero, all your attachments cost 1 less. And then, like I said, when the ally dies, it goes back to your hand. So you see, this right here costs a 1. So with Divine Connection in play, this costs 0. So if you actually have this guy in play and you target him with Strength of Conviction, it costs you 0 to summon that ability, and then when you play it onto this guy, you actually gain 1 resource. So if you're at 2 resources and then you play it on him, you will be at 3 resources. Okay, so try to keep that math in mind, because you can play this guy out with at 3 resources, right? And then you'd only have 1 resource remaining. You summon Strength of Conviction for 0. Play it on him. Now you're up to 2 resources, and you could potentially play another ally, or you can play out your draw engine, Glass Chalice and Knowing, or you can your shield, your damage reduction card, Tomb of Blessings. So you see there for 3 resources, you can you can play an ally, an attachment, and then this artifact for a total of 5 cost. Okay, just make sure you play the ally first for 2, target it with the Strength of Conviction to go from 1 resource up to 2, and then play this card down, and you're good to go, and you'll be drawing cards. And so this also reduces the cost of Confluence of Fate, which is your second, your well, either your main or secondary draw engine. I guess it depends on what point of the game you're in. But for usually this is 4 costs. It can be kind of hard to play it on turn 4. Instead, you get to play it on turn 3. So if you get to do Divine Connection turn 2 and you have this in your hand, play this turn 3 because from that point on you're going to be set with draw. You're just going to be drawing like a madman, and that's really the most important thing to you. Okay, and then you'll have damage reduction with this. So all the allies that you play, you don't have to worry about them dying, even though they're small, because with your attachments on them, and then with that artifact in play, you're going to be just fine. Okay. So this guy, you got to see him in action a little bit. When you summon him, you get to target an attachment from one of your allies and place it onto him instead. So if one of your allies, you can pull off, the strength of conviction. You can pull this off and put it on him and give him a hasted 3 attack, which is pretty good for 2 cost. Zaylan Scholar, you got to see this guy. He's one of the new cards, and every time there's a card in him at the end of your turn, you get to draw a card. And then every time you target him with an ability, you renew 1 resource. So it's constant. You could target him 3 times with abilities, and you'll just keep renewing one. So like this card right here, you can summon it for 1 cost if you have Divine Connection in play, and then you target him and you regain that 1 cost. So it's a net 0 casting cost. And also, this is one of the key cards as well. It gives you +1/+1 for each attachment. So if you have 3 attachments on your ally, this card will give them an additional +3/+3 on top of whatever bonuses they get from the other cards. I got rid of these cards early. It wasn't a prime time for me to have them. So unfortunately, I had to get rid of them. But what it does is it gives your ally +1 attack until the end of your turn, and then it goes back to your hand afterwards. Okay. So it's just a 1 cost for 1 attack just for that time. And Templar Adventist, you got to see this guy. So when he has an attachment on him, he gets +1 attack, +1 health. So 1 attachment on this guy will put him up to 2/5, and then he gets any other bonus from the attachments. Okay. And then remember, every time you target him with an ability, you actually will be able to deal 1 damage at the start of your opponent's next turn. You see, and let me see. Okay, so those are the allies. And this card you saw, it gives +1 attack to an ally, any ally, but it gives +2 attack if the ally is a Templar ally. So you see that Templar is one of the tribes in the game. See here, Templar. So all 12 of these allies are Templar allies. Okay, and this is a pivotal card. What it does is, you saw me finish the game with it, but I didn't explain it. Some of my other videos I might have. But a Legend Rises is a 4 cost, so 3 cost if you have Divine Connection in play. And what it does is it grants your allies immunity to any enemy attachments. So there's a ton of enemy attachments in the game that can reduce your allies' health, or reduce your allies' attack, or maybe keep your ally from attacking, which he had. He had the Zale's Hymn, which just means your ally sits there, playing with itself while everyone else is, joining in the action. So you play this card onto that ally that had Zale's Hymn, like I did, and it gave me the ability to attack with it because it ignored any opposing attachments that were on it. Even if there was like 10 of them on there, it wouldn't matter. And so this again, like I said, that's your main draw engine. Tomb of Blessings, or Tome of Blessings, not Tomb. That's undead class, not priest class. So Tome of Blessings, and every time one of your allies has an attachment on it, think of it as a tank, because any damage, whether that be ability damage or physical combat damage, is going to be reduced by 2. This guy looks like a real badass anime character, so I guess it all makes sense. Not sure what's going on with his hands. I remember I watched a episode of Gundam, and there's this Gundam that had shining fingers. That's what that reminds me of. I didn't really watch too much of that. I watched maybe 10 episodes. And then Glass Chalice, remember, main draw engine for 2 Shadow Energy. You get to draw 3 cards and choose one of them to keep in your hand. So that was the deck. It's actually, there's not much to it. This deck, you just remember, if you have this, you play it turn 2. If you have Confluence of Fate, you play it turn 3. And then After that, try to plan out what you're going to do, what your turns are going to be, and how you can get these guys to optimize effectively. You would generally want this guy on turn 3 with an attachment, and then be able to play the Tome of Blessings. But you can figure it out as you go. Again, it isn't super aggressive deck. There isn't any kind of control tools on it, so it is simply all about beating down your opponent as quickly as possible. Okay. So, like I said before, thank you for watching, and make sure to do all that YouTube stuff. Like, share, subscribe. Please do what you can for us. Me and Dub told me he'll probably be doing some videos this weekend as well. But we're just trying to get some exposure out for this game because we think it's better than pretty much any other card game out there, and it deserves to have its exposure. So help us out, man. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. This way you give us motivation to keep going because if no one subscribes, we're just gonna say screw you guys, and we won't do that. We'll probably keep going anyway. But do what you can for us. We're doing what we can for you and for the game, and we really appreciate it. All right, all right, guys. So until next time, thanks for watching.